Hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. I'm Silver.
And I'm chaotic, perhaps, maybe? Question mark?
So, starting this episode off chaotic, I have a question for you.
Yes.
In all your otherworldly knowledge,
Yes.
how many sun and moon gods can you name? Or sun and moon deities?
Oh, Lord. Not as many as you would think. Not as many as you could think. That's for sure. I know Helios. I know... I'm going to fudge this name. Sekhmet.
Okay.
Apollo. Technically. Right?
Yeah, technically.
Artemis, technically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fudge this one as well because it's a Kiriko skin, but Amaterasu?
Amaterasu?
Yes. Ra?
Okay.
Right? That's one.
Then we covered two.
Okay.
Well, one-ish.
Mm-hmm.
We got Selene.
Selene, right? Artemis's like Roman counterpart is like Diana, I think. Luna, which is like I think same as Selene, but I really think that's all I know.
Well, there's something similar about those and different at the same time. It seems that all the moon deities are more female, and the males tend to be the sun.
You're right. I never really... There's some female sons that I named, but they are mostly predominantly female moon, male sun.
Well, the Norse switch them as well.
Oh, okay.
So Sol is not really a deity. It's confusing how the Norse do it. But the sun is more female representing, and the moon is called Mani, which is presented as male in the stories. But we're not here about them today. We're here about the ultimate game of fetch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
As we are going to be talking about Sköll and Hati.
Okay.
And they are wolves in Norse mythology.
I got them wolves inside me. Yep.
So Sköll chases after the sun, or Sol, and Hati chases after the moon, or Mani. Also, a fun thing I've seen, the sun and moon are not linked to day and night. Day and night are their own types of deities.
Okay. Interesting.
Which gets into the whole family line of these guys are all sorts of confusing for me. And confuses everybody.
Nice. Well, at least you're not alone.
Sköll and Hati are both wolves who chase after these celestial bodies.
Okay.
Sol and Mani are towing the sun and moon on behind their chariots as they go across the sky.
Okay.
It is said that if Sköll and Hati ever catch them, Ragnarok will happen.
Oh, shit.
Or it will happen during Ragnarok.
That's insane. Do we know that for a fact?
Yep, because apparently Ragnarok's already happened, as it's written down. Because at that time, Sköll ends up eating Sol. But Sol has a kid in time in some of the stories. And so another soul takes the place and the sun comes back. And Mani is also eaten. But it's either Mani has two kids with him that he had, or two kids he kidnapped along the way.
Not the kidnap.
Who was making the moon phases change along with him.
Oh, my Lord.
I think one of the kids' name was Bill. I'm not sure.
Bill?
Yeah.
Who just names their kid outright Bill?
Well.
Was his name at least William?
No.
Or did it just go straight to Bill?
I'm not sure. I just heard in one story it was Bill, one of the kids, and then in other stories Bill just never shows up again.
Okay.
But then there's also, well, we'll talk about Sol Mani later. Sköll and Hati. Do you want to know what the etymology of their names mean?
Yes, please. Hit me with it.
So Hati comes from Old Norse, and it means hooded or hood or covering.
Mm-hmm.
And Skull, also from Old Norse, means treachery or mockery.
Treachery or mockery. Feels like
Yes.
every Norse god has some kind of treachery or mockery going on.
Well, considering their possible grandfather is Loki,
Always comes back to Loki.
because it's some of their family trees. It brings both Skull and Hati as children of Fenrir. And Fenrir is a son of Loki.
Loki, Loki, Loki.
hmm Loki and Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
But it also kind of confuses some scholars because some say that Fenrir is supposed to be eating the sun
Mm-hmm.
during Ragnarok and not Skull. So they don't know if Skull actually means they're supposed to be Fenrir, just a different name,
Mm-hmm.
or if since Fenrir got captured, Skull had to take his place in eating the sun. We haven't talked about Fenrir yet, have we?
We did at some point. It must have been brief, but we have mentioned Fenrir before. We have spoken on him.
He hasn't had his own episode.
No, he has not had his own episode.
But yeah. We'll talk more on Sol and Mani later when we get to day and night.
Yeah, separate entities, people.
They have their own separate entities, plus they each have their own set of chariots with their own special horses.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all there is really. They're not really brought up too much besides just that. It's in one little short part of Snorri Sturluson's
Mm-hmm.
epic Eddic poem, Grimnismal. And that little stanza that they're in reads, Skull is the name of the wolf who follows the shining priest into the desolate forest. And the other is Hati, Huvitnir's son, who chases the bright bride of the sky.
The bright bride as in the sun?
Yes.
Okay.
See, in that little stanza, they had Hati and Skull switching roles, so it's also not exactly sure which one chases which.
I gotcha.
And Huvitnir is another name for Fenrir.
Oh. Of course he has multiple names. Why not?
But there is some media that Skull and Hati is in. Kind of. There's one source of media. There is, well, two, if you count this little stanza of the poem. Then the second one is God of War Ragnarok.
Ooh. Valid.
If you type in Skull and Hati in the little gift bar, it pops up the Kratos' kid shooting down the sun or moon and one of the wolves going after it.
Oh, yeah, I see it. That's cool.
I've not played the game. I want to.
I love God of War, but I've not played Ragnarok.
I heard Ratataskar is in it, and he's one of my favorite Norse characters.
Oh, that's neat.
If anybody wants to know who Ratataskar is, go check out the Tree of Life Yggdrasil episode.
Correct.
Or play Smite or God of War Ragnarok. But they are also plushies, surprisingly enough.
Oh, that's cute.
So they made it into the plushie line of, I believe, Squishables. There's a little skull with a little sun and a little hottie with a little moon.
Oh my god, it's so cute. So cute. I want to squish it. Little round baby.
They are both little round. They got hottie as silver colored and the skull is red.
Oh, I want them both.
Those are really the only places I really seen them. Which the plushies is what got me onto the topic of doing the topic for this episode. I wish there was more. But anyways, do you have any? Have you seen them before?
I have not. As much as I know about Norse mythology, I did not know about these guys. And I really like their position in the mythology. I think that's a really unique touch.
Oh,
nice. Shall we move on to Mayhem?
Yes.
So, mayhem for the super large wolves that are trying to catch the balls in the sky.
Well, they gotta be track stars. They're definitely track stars. Athletes. They're huge, so they're like well-known athletes. They're like big boys.
As much as they're running through the night sky, would it be the long sprints or the cross country again?
Yeah, it might be cross country, but I was thinking more like maybe like 1,600 runners, like the mile run. All you
Yeah.
got to do is put one in front of the other. They're gonna be chasing. You know what I mean? They hold a state record.
I was kind of thinking guard dogs. One guards the night, one guards the day.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's kind of like a reverse role. Instead of them chasing for evil, they're chasing things for good.
They could be like Night at the Smithsonian guards. Because you know damn well we got shit in the stool that comes alive.
Yeah. But they'd have a inkling to always chase anything sun or moon shaped, like a ball.
That's what the other guards will be for.
So technically they'd be the worst guards because you could just get rid of them by
Throw them a ball.
Chuck. Imagine Monty running through chasing the moon and goes through the werewolf locker room.
Everybody'd be running.
They just all start changing now. But anyways, this was kind of a lighter episode today.
I liked it. I like them.
A little lesser known monster
Mhm.
because there's not much to him. But man, are their Squishables cute.
They are super cute.
Squishy looking. Squishables. Again, if you want to sponsor us, contact Chaotic.
Yes. Do it.
So wrapping up this episode, our ending, like and thank our patrons of Mondi, Mage, and Ruby. I have no news at the moment, besides we're guest episode next week.
Yay! Very excited.
It'll be episode 96, guest episode.
Let's go.
We're getting close to 100.
I would like to say that the next In Case of Monsters Break Glass should be out the same week as our guest episode.
Ooh.
And we raised $1,365 at our tournament we just hosted. So that was awesome.
Woohoo!
And yeah, yep.
Oh, and by the time this episode comes out, if anybody's going to be at Colossal Con on the Saturday, I am going.
What day is that?
Saturday the 1st. You want to tag along?
Fuck, I can't go the first. God dang it. I'm so mad. I didn't realize that was this weekend.
Well, at least me and Mondi will be handing out stickers as well.
Well, find fucking Silver and Mondi and tell them that you're mad that I didn't show up. And grab a sticker. Any other news?
Our polls have started to end, as we do have polls on our Spotify episodes. So if you're on Spotify, you can see our polls. Our horse race with Sleipnir just ended, and ended in a tie.
A tie.
Yes.
Does that mean we'll have to redo it?
Nah. Just a horse-like creature that would win the horse derby. Or who would win the race is tied between the unicorn and the Nucklebee. If you listen on Spotify, just check it out in the description.
Yeah.
All those not on Spotify, like our large sum of Audible listeners that just came in, welcome in. Okay then. Bye-bye. Chaotic with the outro.
Thank you for listening to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. Silver and Chaotic take you into the depth of the lore and discuss how these legends could affect modern-day society. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or almost any podcast service easiest to you. Dive into the depths of chaos with us every Wednesday, bar Silver and Chaotic not missing their scheduling, and consider joining the podcast Discord or Twitter following even more insider looks and even some D&D sessions. If you'd like some extra special inside looks or even want to be a guest on the show, consider helping us via Patreon. Your help makes such a big difference to us both. Until next time, Mythics, you never know what kind of mayhem we might get into.